The Statue at the Sleepover, written and illustrated by Blue Biker 10. To my cousin, the real Leela. I was a new kid at Stevenson Elementary School. I was assigned to room 2. I looked around and waited outside. There was a large willow tree covering the lunch tables. All of the classrooms were yellow with red borders, and unlike my old school, the classrooms were separated into 4 chunks. In the front there were the kindergarten classes, in the middle there were the second and third grade classes, and in the back there were the fourth and fifth grade classes. I thought that having chunks was a stupid idea. I checked my watch. It was 8:30. School was supposed to start. Do you know why I still wasn't going inside? I bet you don't. It was because my parents got an email from my new teacher. Hi, Leela's parents. Will you please tell your daughter to come in only once the class has 1. Gone inside. 2. Finished the morning math test. 3. Sat down quietly on the carpet. They should have this by 8:40. I will call her in, if necessary. Thanks, Miss Cheryl. When it was finally time for me to go in and I stepped to the door, Miss Cheryl asked, Hello, are you Leela, the new student? I suspect you aren't because you look like a boy and our new student is a girl. If you aren't Leela, then tell me who you are. If you are Leela, then please come to the front of the classroom and talk about yourself. In fact, I am Leela, I said. Miss Cheryl looked at me, flabbergasted, and I walked to the front of the room to introduce myself. Hello, class. My name is Leela, and I moved to Mountain View from Playa del Rey because my dad got a job at Google. I'm good at a lot of things, especially tag. At recess, when I tried to sit down with the girls, they said things like, Leela, you're too boyish to play with the girls. And, yeah, Leela, you're so boyish. Even Miss Cheryl thought you were a boy. You ought to sit with the boys. I said angrily, if you all want me to play with the boys so much, then I will, and I'll never ever be your friend. With that, I stormed off toward the boys were sitting. They were probably sitting so far away because they didn't like the girls. I could understand why. When I got to the boys, Arjun said, Look, guys, a girl wants to join our group. All the boys, except Jack, laughed in a nasty way. Another boy said, maybe she doesn't want to be on the boys' team. Maybe she's just in love with you, Arjun. You are so handsome. I was getting angrier and angrier by the second. Still, Arjun was kind of handsome, wasn't he? He had wild, messy, ink-black hair and soft, dark skin. He had twinkly, mischievous eyes and a slim body just right for playing recess games. Jack said, Let her be on our team. She said she's good at tag. I barely heard him. I was too busy staring at Arjun, who didn't seem to notice. Arjun said, Oh, really? How about we test her to see if she is good? How? Jack asked. Well, you can play chaos tag, and if Leela manages to get everyone down, then she's on the team. Leela, do you think you can handle that, or do you want to go back to the girly girls? Arjun asked. My face turned red. How dare he imply that I was a girly girl, especially when I'm not one? A girly girl likes fashion, pink, purple, and sparkles, all that kind of stuff. That was not me. Still, I didn't know what to say. If I said yes, I would almost definitely fail. But on the other hand, if I said no, they'd think I'm actually not any good. They'd probably tell everyone in the school that I was a liar, and then no one in Stevenson would even want to sit next to me. I decided to take their test. Okay, I said, trying my best to sound calm, even though I was sweating. I'll take your silly test. With that, we ran out to the field. I caught everyone but Arjun within the first minute. I kept trying to catch Arjun, but I just couldn't get him. I quickly thought of a plan to get Arjun. I knew that he had a watch, and Jack told me earlier that he always tried to get in line 5 minutes before the bell rang. With my watch, I could tell when it was 5 minutes before recess was over. I would know exactly when Arjun would turn around to walk to the line. I checked my watch. It was 10:10. 10 minutes until recess ended. As I waited, I made sure Arjun didn't tag me. I checked my watch again. 10:15. I stood prepared to tag him. He spun around and started walking away. I tried to follow him loudly so he'd hear me and turn around so I could tag him. I guess he heard me, because he suddenly whirled around. As soon as he did, I tagged him nice and hard so he could feel it. Tag, I teased. You're on the team, Arjun said quietly. I can't believe it. He looked like he wanted to punch me in the face. At lunch, I excitedly told the boys, do you want to come to a sleepover at my house? Sure, it sounds cool, Arjun said nervously. What is it? 5 o'clock tonight, I said. Sounds good to me. I'll come if I can. We'll bring you a present, Jack said, overexcited. Perfect! My address is 369 Orchard Drive. See you then, I said. That evening, while I was reading a book in my room, I heard my dad scream, What is that doing here? What is what doing here? I snapped back, annoyed that he interrupted my reading. Come see, he shouted. Coming, I said grumpily. When I got there, I muttered, Okay, show me what it is. Look out the window, and you'll see what I mean, he said. I slowly looked out the window. Oh my gosh, I cried. There was a giant, and I mean giant, truck outside of our house. We went outside to investigate the humongous truck. I looked through the window. I could vaguely see Arjun's face. It's them! I cried in delight. The door opened and Arjun hopped out. I heard someone call, Have fun, guys! I heard Jack say, Wait up for me! I turned around and saw Jack biking up. Hi, Arjun! Did you tell her about the thing? He asked. Nope, Arjun said. It's a surprise, remember? Come on, let's go inside and have a snack, Jack said. Sure, come on in, guys, my dad said. Let's see what we have in the kitchen. We raced inside. Here you go, my dad said, bringing a large tray of chocolate chip muffins. Yummy! I want more, cried Jack. Me too, Arjun said. Once we were done eating, we went to the backyard. Wow, Jack said, this backyard of yours is amazing. He was right. It was amazing. We had a huge patio with a table and swivel chairs, a ton of willow trees, a waterfall, a creek, and even a lake. Okay, Jack, Arjun said slowly as we sat down. Let's give it to her now. I'll get it, Jack said, jumping up from his seat. Get what? I asked. Your present, silly, Arjun said. Oh, yeah, right, I said, embarrassed. I can help you if you want. Nah, I'm fine, Jack said, as he went back inside. It'll take a long time for him to get it, Arjun said soon after Jack left. Do you want me to do something while we wait? Sure, we could go boating if you wanted, I said, smiling sweetly at him. Fine with me, he said cheerfully. I just love boating. When we got to the pond, Arjun said, I know, let's have a boat race. Sure, but you'll probably win. I'm kind of slow at boating, I said. We each climbed into our boats. Mine was a sleek, black and green Mastercraft X-Star. His was a red Starcraft Marine. Get ready, get set, and go! I shouted. I started up my motor and started across the lake. I expected Arjun to zoom off ahead of me, but I heard him yell, Now how does this stupid boat work? I turned back around and went back to him. I got off my boat to show him how it works, and I suddenly saw a brightly colored shape coming towards me. It made an awfully loud grinding sound as it moved. What in the world is that? I screeched at the top of my lungs, holding my ears. It was coming closer and closer and looked bigger and bigger. What is what? He shouted back. That! I screamed over the noise while pointing at the thing. As soon as Arjun saw it, he burst out laughing. No, what that thing is. Well, if you know what it is, then why don't you tell me? I snapped. It's your present, Leela, I heard my dad say from behind the box. My dad and Jack came from behind the brightly wrapped present. Why are you behind it, Dad? I asked quickly. It's much heavier than he thought it was, my dad said, like he'd done something wrong. Open it now, please, 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 open it now, Jack begged. Now, let's wait until 5. At 5 o'clock, we were sitting boats at the pond. Arjun and I were sitting in the same ones as before, and Jack was in Arjun's boat. I had just given them a lesson on how to ride the Starcraft Marine. Then Arjun checked his shiny black and green watch. "It's 5! Time to open the present!" Arjun exclaimed. I slowly and carefully unwrapped the giant box. I gasped. "Oh my gosh!" I exclaimed. It was a giant marble statue of a dragon. It could even make fake fire. I turned on the fake fire. The flames glowed red and orange. "Cool," I said in awe. Suddenly, my dad rushed outside. "Okay, kids, are you ready for dinner?" We ran into the dining room. "What's for dinner?" Jack called to my dad, who was in the kitchen. "Spaghetti!" "Yum!" we said in chorus. When my dad came back with bowls of steaming hot spaghetti, I asked, "Dad, did you see what the present was?" "Nope," he said. "What is it?" "It's a marble statue of a dragon with a light-up fake fire!" I exclaimed. As soon as we finished dinner, my dad said, "Okay, kids, brush your teeth and off to bed." While we were brushing our teeth, Arjun said, "I know, let's sleep outside next to the statue." Okay, I said, but I'll warn you, it gets very cold out there sometimes. "Well, it's practically burning outside when we got here," Arjun said in defense. "Okay, fine," I said. "We can sleep next to the statue." We ran outside and put our sleeping bags next to the statue. I turned on the fake fire. The fake flames flared as we snuggled into our sleeping bags. "Good night," we whispered in chorus. I dozed off. Suddenly, I felt something poking me. "What is it?" I mumbled, rubbing my eyes. "The dragon!" I heard Arjun whisper. "It's doing something weird." "Dragon? What dragon?" I muttered. "This must be some kind of dream." "It isn't!" Arjun hissed. "This is real! Come on, get up!" "Ugh!" I groaned slowly, getting up. I checked my watch. I jumped up. "It's 11 o'clock! Why did you wake me up at this hour?" I screeched. "Shh! Be quiet! Don't wake your dad up!" Jack hissed. "But why did you?" "Because of that!" Jack said, pointing at the statue. I gasped. The statue was slowly rocking from side to side. Its skin had turned a soft green. I touched it. The smooth marble had turned into a rough, scaly skin. The dragon slowly closed its mouth. It looked at all of us with its bright green eyes. "Well, well, well," it said. "Lots of nice little people to become my slaves." "Your slaves?" we screamed. "Of course," it said. "And I'd better find a good hiding spot to think of a plan to catch you." "We have to think of a plan too," Jack said. "Everyone think, and you don't want the dragon to know our plan. So write it down on a piece of paper." "I've got it, guys!" Arjun cried out. "Shh!" I hissed at him. "What did we tell you about writing the plan down on a piece of paper?" "Oops, sorry," he said. He picked up a piece of paper and a pencil. "Wait, Lila, one thing. Do you have a large fishing net at your house?" "Yeah, it's kind of dirty though." Quickly jotted something down on a piece of paper. He handed it to me. "Read it," he whispered. "Come on." My plan. Get net. Find dragon's hiding spot. Sneak up. Trap dragon in net. Figure out how to turn dragon back into statue. Sell statue back to store. Problem solved! Are you sure this plan is complete? I asked. Yep, he said. Then how will we find dragon's hiding spot? And if we eventually find it and trap it, what happens if the dragon burns a hole through the net and escapes? And if we manage to keep the dragon inside, how will we figure out how to turn dragon into statue? It seems like your plan isn't finished after all, I stated. Oh well, Jack said. Let's just try it anyway. Become a dragon slave? No way! I screamed. Shh, be quiet, Jack snapped. Okay, I whispered. You don't need to snap at me for it. So, Lila, Arjun started. It's Leela! I screamed at the top of my lungs. I thought you knew that already. I was just joking. You don't have to shout at me for it. Anyway, are you going to try my plan or not? He asked. Oh, fine, I groaned. We can use your darn plan, but I warn you, if that net gets ruined, we're in big trouble. Okay, Arjun whispered. Jack, you check near the waterfall. Leela, you check near the boats. I'll check at the patio. Meet me at the lake when you're done. If the dragon isn't at any of those places, we check the house, okay? Okay, Jack and I said quietly. We each ran off to our spot. I looked around the lake. Nothing there. I looked into the lake. Nothing there either. I looked inside all of the boats. Not there. Wait. I looked around again. There was another boat. A Hatteras GT54, far on the other end of the lake. I snuck up to it and peeked through the window. I saw the dragon inside. Of course you would choose the Hatteras GT54. It's a pretty big boat. Why didn't I think of that in the first place? I quietly scolded myself. I saw Arjun and Jack coming to the lake. Actually, I heard them coming. I faintly heard Jack saying something. Like, where's Leela? She said to meet at the lake. I quickly and quietly ran over to them. No luck, Jack said. How about you guys? Didn't find him, Arjun said glumly. I found him, I whispered excitedly. Where? Jack asked. In that boat at the far corner. I have a new plan, Arjun said. Give me that old plan. I handed it over. He scribbled out some things and quickly wrote some more things. He handed it over again. This is what it looked like. My plan. Find dragon's hiding spot. Check. Get net. Sneak up, trap dragon in net, figure out how to turn dragon back into statue, sell statue back to store. Problem solved. So, Lila, Arjun started. Leela, I politely corrected. What do you think of the plan? He completed. It's okay, I guess. It doesn't seem like you changed it that much. We went to get the net. Arjun insisted that he should stay and watch over the Hatteras GT54 in case the dragon would come out. So Jack and I had to sneak up to the dark attic. I had never been in there before. I had heard from my dad that it was very dark and spooky, but it certainly didn't seem like it. Once we had gotten the net and gone back to Arjun, all of us snuck up to the Hatteras GT54 and peeked through the window. Actually, only Jack and I peeked through. Arjun was checking the label on the fishing line. Aha! He suddenly said. This is perfect. Just perfect. What's perfect? I asked. This net is fireproof, he said excitedly. That means Mr. Dragon can't burn through. Okay. Can we go in now? Jack asked, growing more impatient. We snuck onto the boat, still making sure that the net wouldn't drag and make noise. We saw the dragon relaxing at the controls. Okay, whispered. On the count of 3, threw the net onto the dragon. 1, we all grabbed the net. 2, we held up the net ready to strike. 3! We all threw the net onto the sleepy dragon. I tied up the ends. We all dragged it outside. Okay, I said. Now what? I don't know, Arjun said. Well, I guess we can take it back to the store owner and see if he knows how to turn it back into a statue, Jack suggested. Great idea, I said. The store's probably far away, so we can drive there. Drive there? Who'll drive us? I guess I could. But you don't have a driver's license, Arjun protested. This is a matter of life and death. I'll even break the law if I have to, I solemnly said. Well, then how will you start the car? You don't have the key. My dad's car doesn't need a key. It's an electric car. We snuck into my dad's red Nissan Leaf. And as soon as we were strapped in, I pressed the accelerator and off we went. When we got there, we stepped inside carrying the dragon in the net. Inside, there was a grumpy-looking old man sweeping the floor. Go away, he said when he saw us. We're closed. But, Jack started to protest. No buts, the man said firmly. Out now. Suddenly, a weary-eyed man came down the staircase. Uh-oh. What is it? He asked. Just these damn kids. I keep telling them we're closed, but they won't listen. Is it important? The weary-eyed man asked. Yes, sir, it's very important, Arjun said. All right. Come to my office, guys. And don't call me sir. My name is John Ammon. And don't call me Mr. Ammon either. Call me John, he said. The statue, I said glumly. It came alive and tried to capture us and make us its slaves. We were wondering if you know how to change it back. I think I might be able to change it back, he said. He went over to a cabinet and took out a small purple bottle. Where is the dragon? He asked. We all pointed at the net. He slowly poured some of the white liquid inside the bottle onto the net. There was a soft creaking sound. And then there was silence. Arjun slowly pulled the net off. The dragon had turned back into a statue. Woohoo! We all shouted. Project Reflection. The statue at the sleepover was inspired by Roald Dahl. The first way that it was inspired by Roald Dahl is that my protagonist is a child. Roald Dahl made many of his protagonists children. In fact, I think the only Roald Dahl book that I've read with an adult protagonist is S.E.O. Trot. The next way that it was inspired by Roald Dahl is that I used plenty of names from my own life. Roald Dahl used names from his own life, but not as many times as I did. I use them a ton. Leela is the name of my cousin, Arjun is the name of my mom's cousin's son, Jack is the name of my friend's brother, and Cheryl is the name of one of my teachers from preschool. The third way is that my story takes place in the real world with some magic. The story is all real life until something magical happens. The real world with some magic in my story is when Leela and her new friends have a normal life until the statue comes to life and tries to capture them. The final way is that it's slightly draw cab backward. It is backward because the girls want another girl, Leela, to play with the boys instead of themselves. I hope you enjoyed my Roald Dahl-inspired tale. About the author. Hello, my nickname is Blue Biker 10. I decided on that nickname because I like the color blue, bike a lot, and enjoy even numbers. I bike to school almost every day. I'm a third grade student in Trevor's classroom at Stevenson Park Elementary School. I live in Mountain View, California with my Amma, Mom, Appa, Dad, and Thangay, younger sister, not to be confused with the movie. My mom is Indian and Amma is Mom in Tamil, an Indian language. Same with the other names. I like playing with my Thangay at home. I also like to learn about statistics by watching a series of videos on edX. The person who talks in them is Ani Adhikari. Ani Adhikari is a professor at the University of California, Berkeley. Outside of school, I enjoy reading books. I like reading books by Enid Blyton, especially The Wishing Chair. I also enjoy reading The Murder on the Orient Express, known as Murder on the Calais Coach in the United States, by Agatha Christie. I also like reading Roald Dahl books to the class. I once read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory to the class. I love doing that. I decided to write the statue at the sleepover because I wanted to write something about murder. I was inspired by the Murder on the Orient Express. To my, and some others, disappointment, Trevor thought that it would be too dark if there was a murder, so I had to change it to just kids nearly getting captured instead. During the process of writing it, I learned that not everyone likes murder stories as much as I do.